The Squatch seekers of the South, searching for truth, debunking the doubt. The answers are there if the questions don't count. The Squatch seeking seekers of the South. East Central Alabama, near the Georgia line. The mighty Chattahoochee running deep and wide. There's talk of hairy creatures running about, and a group of Squatch seekers steady stalking the South.
Welcome everyone to Squatch Seekers of the South, episode 2. We're really excited to have everyone with us tonight, whether you're watching this live or you're catching this on a replay. We just want to thank everyone for tuning in and being a part of the Squatch Seeker community. We have a great show tonight with some of our Squatch Seekers of the South group. So just to get started, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to be the moderator tonight, and I'm Jason Adam. I manage most of our social media stuff with a little help from some of my friends. I've been on a few expeditions with some of the team here, and I've helped a lot with our annual town hall. We planned and set up and got into the woods quite a bit this past year. So we're going to talk about that. And we have several guests on tonight. So tonight we're going to have me. I'll be the moderator. And then also we're going to have Jesse Porter, which is right here. And we let him believe that he is the group expert, but actually he's very knowledgeable and a great asset to our group. We have Chris Price down here on the end. He's our founding member of Squatch Seekers of the South. And this group was established, I think, what was it, Chris? Something like 9 years ago, I believe.
It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere around 9 years ago. Of course, we got really active about 3 years ago when we had our first town hall. Of course, we've had a second one since then, and we're in the works of planning our third one now. And then we also have the legendary Dale Boswell. And rumors has it that he's a legend in country music and that he can also speak Sasquatch. He's also a great Sasquatch researcher. So to get started, I'm going to ask our guests a couple questions real quick, just kind of break the ice a little bit. So we'll start off with you, Jesse. Did you grow up more of a believer or a skeptic of Sasquatch type creatures?
I would never say that I grew up as a skeptic. I never really gave too much thought into it. I always kind of thought, that there might be something out there. Really didn't get heavy into it until I met this guy over here, and actually a little between me and him, worked for him for a few years, and we became really good friends inside and outside of that. And he used to torture me at work, making me listen to Wes Germer's podcast, Sasquatch Chronicles. And over time, I kind of got into it and looked forward to listening to it. And he's the one that pretty much got me into it. And I've had a few experiences being in the woods that have definitely led me to believe that this creature is real and flesh and blood. And I wouldn't say I'm a knower, but I definitely am a believer. So
all right, awesome. Appreciate it, Jesse. Chris, do you think that you grew up more as a believer or a skeptic?
Believer, because I had an experience when I was six right at 7 probably. So my answer is going to be a lot shorter than Jesse's. That's pretty much it.
All right, that is absolutely fine. Bradley, thank you so much. We bought us some mics and a new camera, so hopefully we're clear as well as sounding good. So we appreciate that. Dale, how about you? Did you grow up as a little believer or skeptic?
No comment. No. Actually, I grew up about like you guys, and I've been researching about 10 years since 2014 as far as really deep dive in research. And of course, I've been retired since then, so I've had a lot more time than, like you fellas would have that have to work for a living,
Right.
So I've really enjoyed it. through the years. But before I get too started, I want to do one thing right here, and I want y'all to help me out.
Are you gonna give us a treat?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to me. Yes, I turned the big 50. I did. I appreciate that, Dale. Hopefully you'll be able to sing us another tune a little bit later that's not about me.
Happy birthday to you, brother. I just want to let you know I got you.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. So I do have a second question I want to ask you guys. How did you find yourself becoming part of the Squatch Seekers of the South group? Jesse, you want to start us off?
Kind of just fell into it with Chris. He asked me out on the expedition camping trip, and pretty much been put there on being
Where was that expedition trip
doing
to?
research. I want to believe the first one we went out on was here back home where we're from, a place called Ghost Town. It's a lot of land and a series of dirt roads, and there's a lot of history here in our town about that place. Good, bad, ugly.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Chris, since you're the founding member, how did you become a member? What got you to create this group? And it's kind of blossomed into a little something more than what it used to be.
It was just me and a few others. We were in the Everglades and just decided to make a Facebook page for what we were doing, which we never did a whole lot with it at that point, but just kind of started there. We did little trips down to the Everglades. Pretty much it.
All right. Awesome. Thank you. Dale, how about yourself? How did you meet us?
I think it was through Facebook, and I'm pretty sure because I actually didn't know that we had a group of Squatch seekers here in my area. I thought I was by myself. You know how it is. You know, sometimes you just can't find nobody to go squatching with. So
yeah,
I come across these guys, and man, I couldn't help but love them. Couldn't help but join the group, and y'all have been a big inspiration to me.
Awesome. Yeah, and you have a group called Boogerville, I believe, and I think some of us jumped in that group whenever we met you, and I know some of your guys jumped in our group. So certainly glad for the friendship and everything that's been going on with all the town halls and research and collaborating and all that stuff. So we certainly appreciate that.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go on. We have several topics that we want to discuss tonight. We kind of shared those on the Facebook group and also in the intro video here. So the first topic we want to talk about is safety tips for squatching in the wild. You know, what should people always remember when heading into the woods? Anybody want to take that one?
Well, I can yeah, if you don't mind, I can jump in because I talk about this quite often. And a dear friend of mine, Coonbo Baker, actually taught me the rules of this. And the number one rule, believe it or not, when you go out into the woods, as still as it sounds, you have your vehicle facing in the exit position because you don't really know when you need to get out of there. And there's been 2 occasions myself when I had to get in my vehicle and go because it got scary, and you may play some of that audio later. But that's the number one rule as far as safety. Now there's some other tips that you should do. Once you get to your area, whatever recording devices you have at the time, you should have them on before you get out of your vehicle. Because a lot of times that door open or whatever could scare away whatever was there or create something. So you need to be recording as soon as your feet hit the ground, you know. And that's that's a couple of tips that I always go by.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Chris has come out of the woods out here in Salem several times, and as soon as he walked out of the woods, he heard something.
Oh
But,
yeah.
by that point, he had already turned everything off. So that's a good tip.
I think them boogers can hear them on and off switches.
All right, Jesse, you have anything?
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Dale, with the having an exit strategy first and foremost. Another big thing with safety being out there is always have a backup plan. Never go alone. Have someone with you. It's always best to go in at least pairs. to watch each other's backs out there and look for, things like that. Always have if you're into that kind of thing, have a firearm, a sidearm or something with you, not, just Squatch wise, but, snakes, coyotes, anything like that. Always be ready and prepared for anything. Let someone know where you're going, where you're going to be, share a location with a wife or a friend or somebody, and stay vigilant out there and stay on your P's and Q's.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris, you have anything?
I think that about covered it, really. Anything I was thinking of, they've already covered it.
Yeah,
Just
right.
took all my answers.
All y'all are going to tune in and everything. We're going to learn. Chris doesn't speak well with other people and being on camera.
So kind of just trailing into that about safety, and as far as big Sasquatch sightings and was it missing 411 or whatever. So I mean, as far as sightings go and the reports on missing people, the maps, if you lay them one over top of the other, they a lot of times will match up. They line up. So definitely always go in pairs and be as safe as you can.
Not trying to cut Jason off here, but Gary Spikes, we apologize about that. We operate off Eastern time here where we're at. We're actually in Alabama, but the line that we live on, most people in this area go off of Eastern time, not Central time. So on Mondays or any other day that we have the show, it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time.
We need to make sure we have that on there.
Yeah, so it'll be 6 Central time.
Yeah, hello, Gary. Gary's a great guy too. He's one of the best around.
Gary, was he on Jessica's show the other night? Was that the same Gary? I don't know. I think there was someone on Jessica, the cryptid huntress. I believe someone was on her page the other night by Gary. I don't know if it was this guy or not, but
yeah, he's a great guy. I've been around him on camping trips and conferences and things several times. He's a super guy.
Cool, very good. All right, so let's see. Meeting fellow Squatch seekers. Who have you connected with or learned from throughout your research? And I know as Squatch Seekers of the South, we've met a ton of people.
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to take that one, Jesse?
I'm not going to put nobody's name out there just for respect purposes, but I've met a few people that are very well known in the Squatch universe and are very down to earth, very cool, hospitable folks, and we got some great places we can go and access land and do research and all on with these folks. And we've been invited to a lot of things and have all learned a lot of things that we didn't know. And it's I would say it's not really a process, but it's an experience. It's very good. You meet some off the wall people for sure, but you meet normal people, as most folks would put it.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty cool.
We're not afraid to name drop. We don't have any copyright issues. So Chris, how about you? I know that you've had to meet a lot of folks due to the town halls to find different speakers and whatnot. Friendships have developed out of that.
Yeah, quite a few. I hate to name drop, but like Tyler Howell and Stacy Brown and several others. There's a lot. There's a lot to
Flat Rock, and pretty much everybody knows him nowadays. It seems like every podcast I go look at, Flat Rock is either in the chat group or he's on the screen one of the two. Very great guy. There's been a ton of people that have reached out to us in emails and messages, of course, messages on the Facebook page and the YouTube page. We've heard a lot of different stories and encounters and stuff like that. So it's really been awesome just meeting all the different people that's from Alabama, Georgia, Florida. And I know that there's some all over the country. It's been really awesome. How about you, Dale? You've been in this business a while.
Way too long, it seems like. But yeah, a lot of the guys you mentioned, and I go way on back to even if people remember Dallas and Wayne. They were some of the pioneers of Squatching, as far as in my era, and they were good friends of mine, and I've got to do some things with them from here to Las Vegas. M.K. Davis is another one, and some of the guys you mentioned. Of course, Coonbo Baker is my mentor, and I let everybody know that he's a great guy, my buddy, and Coach Stacy Brown, and one of the guys I'd like to thank is Chris Price. Chris has taken me so far. I mean, I had on my bucket list for years to, even though I've been an entertainer for years, and the stage does not scare me none whatsoever. But I've always wondered how would it be to be like a presentator or the, you know, 'cause I make up words when I talk. So a speaker is not my best thing. You know, when you're singing, you just kind of make up what you want to. So it's a different story being a speaker. And Chris gave me the chance to do that, and I've just kind of rolled with it, and people just accept me as I am. And
Absolutely,
Chris, brother, I can't thank you enough for some of the opportunities that you've.
You don't have to thank me. Well, you did us a favor. It wasn't
Absolutely.
It wasn't me doing you anything. You did us a favor.
and you did an awesome job. I mean, just carrying the show along so that way there wasn't a lot of pauses and whatnot during our first town hall when we really didn't know what we were doing.
Oh, Dale can definitely feel dead time.
That comes from years of practice on the band stage, and something go wrong, you know, break a string or amplifier go out, and somebody had to keep the show going, and it was usually me. So I can fill in pretty good when I need to.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think our first town hall turned out great. There was, I believe, 86 people right here in Smith Station, Alabama. How many encounter stories did we hear that day? I mean, there had to be 10 or 15.
There was over a dozen easily.
We met Jessica Jones there, so that was pretty awesome.
She's awesome. She is.
Of course, we had M.K. Davis.
Yeah, he came
down that time as well. And we're not a group that's out to get fame or create a podcast to make money or whatnot. We're just regular old people that like to go out squatching and share ideas and collaborate and talk about different evidence and research and stuff like that. So that's kind of what we do here with Squatch Seekers of the South.
Hey, speaking of Squatch Seekers of the South, that was the coolest theme song that you opened up with. Who wrote that?
I believe that was what was his name? Was it Dale? Doug? It was Doug.
Doug.
Yeah, I believe it was you. And you did an awesome job on that. We certainly appreciate it. You were telling us that you wrote jingles and stuff like that back from some of your previous employment. So we were like, hey, Dale, write us.
You know, that was one of the few songs, because once you write a song, it's kind of written. But I actually enjoy listening to that one. It come out real well, like I wanted, and it came out so quick when I wrote it. You know, that's when you know you got. I mean, it just flows. So, but anyway, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all playing on the show.
Absolutely, I hum along to it all the time. So I guess we'll move on to our next thing, which is our annual town hall. What do you guys think that our gathering provides to the community?
I think it's a great way for people to come out and meet other folks of like-minded ideas surrounding, you know, Sasquatch, Bigfoot, the Yeti. It's a good way for people that are a lot of people have come out the last two that have said that, you know, they've been frightened to come out and say anything to friends or loved ones about their encounters and their thought process about this, you know, worried about being ridiculed or made fun of. And for them to feel so at home with us, and even in a large group of people, to come out and speak on that publicly. And
well, a lot of them still wouldn't speak publicly. They'd catch you on the side. They didn't want to send an email because they didn't want their name attached to that. So they wanted to just talk one-on-one to the side. A lot of them did that. Yeah. They still, even with that group of people, they were comfortable, but they still didn't want everybody to hear what they had to say.
You know, that's a common thing too. I don't know if it happens to you guys, but you don't have big old magnets on your cars, probably like mine does, Bigfoot and Dale Boswell. You know, because I don't mind flashing it, and I get a lot of attention, and not as far as attention, but like you're talking about. So many people will come up to me. I could be at a Dollar General store or something, and they'll be waiting out by my car. And they'll see the sign. They'll say, "Are you serious about this?" And I'll say, "Absolutely." And they'll go, "Let me tell you what I saw one time." Exactly. And that's what it takes. If they got somebody they think will listen to them and not laugh at them, there's a lot of people out there that's got stories to tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that when I first met you, one of the first stories that you had talked about something similar like that was you were in Home Depot and someone come up to you. And,
Yeah. I was looking. I actually videotaped that. I was looking at that
Yeah,
just the other day. Yeah.
Yep, yeah, absolutely did. So yeah, that's true. Yep. You want to take the next one, or y'all have anything else to say about the town hall and what it provides to the community?
Just that we are in the process of working out, trying to find a venue, and once we lock the venue idea down and get something solidified, we're going to start looking for speakers.
And we're looking for a larger venue, folks, because I'm telling you, we packed it the last time. It was standing room only. So this is going to be good. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned. Listen.
Yeah, 187 at the last one.
Yeah, if anybody has any ideas for a venue that can hold about 250 people this time, that's kind of what we're expecting.
In the Smith Station, Auburn, Opelika area.
Anywhere from Phoenix City, Smith Station area, about 45 minutes to an hour away in that general radius. Something big enough to hold that many people. With a kitchen and the bathroom facilities and stuff like that. That's what we're looking for.
Yeah, there's several places available, but they're also extremely expensive.
Yeah,
and we're not rich, so it would be nice if we just had a big piece of farm property with a big old barn on it. That would be perfect.
That's what I wish we could find.
Yeah, if anybody is willing to let us come out and set up a venue on your property
for 300 people,
that would be amazing. And of
course, in the barn too. Yeah,
we would clean up
we'll go to the barn
and compensate you for your time and your property, and that would be amazing.
Absolutely. Dale, you feel like singing us a tune?
Oh, I think I will. I'll do a little something. I don't want to take up a whole lot of time with this, but it's music. Something I've enjoyed all my life. And
for a second,
you got 1 minute.
Yeah. I just want to do just an old country song that everybody knows and that y'all can sing along with. Well, actually, I'm gonna do a Bigfoot song first.
Okay.
And this is it's a song. It's actually called Slewfoot. And it's an old song, and if you listen to the old song, it's supposedly written about a bear named Slewfoot. But to me, the lyrics sound like they were talking about a Bigfoot. I mean, and let me sing it to you. And I'm gonna just only words I'm gonna change it in it is from Slewfoot to Bigfoot. Let me see what y'all think. Well, high on a mountain, tell me what you see. Big old Bigfoot looking back at me. Better get your camera before it's too late. Bigfoot's got a little pig headed for the gate. Well, he's big around the middle and he's broad across the rump, running 90 miles an hour, taking 30 feet a jump. He ain't never been caught, he ain't never been treed. Some folks say he looks a lot like me. That would sound like a bear, and it's not running.
That sounds like a great Bigfoot song.
But I always thought that was the coolest.
Yeah, I can listen to you sing all day long.
I think who sang the original song? Fair and Young? Or?
Oh God, that goes way back to somebody like way back in the 50s. It was like in the 50s or early 60s.
Well, they're probably not living no more. Go ahead and take it over.
I want to say Pee Wee King or somebody like that, but I can look it up. Or you can just Google Slewfoot and you can hear the actual song.
Awesome. Hey, before you get started on your next song, I see Gary said that yes, it was him. So I was actually on Jessica's chat and I was watching that, and man, that was some great stuff that was going on her podcast.
Yeah, Jessica's great.
Great job.
You know, if we did that first conference, I forgot to tell y'all, but my sister called me and she said, "Do you know Jessica Jones?" And my sister hardly listens or watches a whole lot of Bigfoot and stuff, but she says, "I've always been a Jessica Jones fan." I'm like, "Well, that's just too cool, you know." But yeah, she puts on a good presentation too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Gary done a great job. What's that site in Alabama I was telling you about today, Chris?
Hollis,
yeah. Gary, I don't think that you live in Alabama. I think you live somewhere up north, but you've been to Hollis before, I believe.
Yeah, that's where Gary. Yeah, that's where we met at. It's Hollins.
Hollins,
and
yeah.
It's near Sylacauga, Alabama.
Right,
Okay,
right.
that's not too far.
Yeah, that's a place
No,
that
no,
we've
no,
heard a lot about.
You can drive up there and back in a day, and we need to go there. Y'all
Yeah,
would not believe the activity goes on there. Gary will tell you.
Yeah. We want to get with some of them guys up there and come up there and do a weekend camping or week-long camping or whatever.
Oh,
It sounded to me like, because I also watched another show with Flat Rock on it, it sounded to me like a couple times a year a bunch of guys get together and go up there and camp out.
Yeah. It's actually with another group that I'm in, called the Woodwalkers. Now I'm telling because they're a great bunch. I love all of them. But the last meet and greet we had like 130 something people show up.
Oh, nice.
At that campground. I'm talking about tents everywhere, and still had activity, which is not uncommon because you know people think you got to be out in the woods by yourself to attract the Bigfoot. No, that's one of the worst things you can do. You want to create attention because they want to know, what's that in my neighborhood, and if there's any around, they're going to come looking for you.
That's one of the biggest things I've heard off and on over the years, and so many encounter stories I've listened to, and people in the Bigfoot world that have been researching way longer than we have and know a great deal more than we do. And that's one of the main things you come across is, we were just sitting around the fire, drinking some beer and listening to music, or, we were riding ATVs and spotted one, or, you just want to be out there and be normal. And,
Exactly.
Normally it just happens.
And it don't have to be during the night, daytime. I mean, think about how many daytime sightings when people are out just playing ball or fishing or something and look across the creek and see one, so it could be just any time. It don't have to be in the middle of the night. So my advice is when you're out playing, you keep your eyes open and look behind your shoulder and don't spook them.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that we've had some of our most activity and probably most evidence when we were just chilling out, hanging out around campsite and like, hey, let's just walk right here and just look for a minute.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've trekked through the woods in the middle of the night during the day, never really hearing or seeing a whole lot. But when we're just not really paying attention, but still paying attention, I think that's when we hear the most amount of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're right. That I think just going about your business, they get curious and want to come and see what you're doing.
And just because one area you think you're not getting any activity, that's not necessarily so. Or you can, go back to that area, and actually that's a good thing to do because they might just want to get used to you a little bit. Take for instance the Wild Man Bottom audio that Thinker Thunker just done his analysis on. I've been to Wild Man Bottom Road lots of times with thermal cameras, screaming, hollering, and never hear a thing. Then 2 nights, including the one he's got, it just went crazy. So like I tell people, it's like fishing. Sometimes you get a bite and sometimes you won't.
Right. That's why we like going here locally to Ghost Town so often. There's so much wooded area out there, and sometimes we'll go out there and won't hear anything but crickets and other.
Y'all ain't took me out there yet. Y'all always sneak off.
We're gonna get you out there, Dale. We promise.
All right,
so Gary says that he's from Oklahoma, and he also said that he just goes camping and they come to him. I feel like the last few times that we've done something like that, that's when we've had the most amount of activity.
Yeah, I think so. You just have to wait on them because you're not going to sneak up on one or you're not going to hunt one down because it would have already happened.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, occasionally, I tell this people, especially when I show the video of the little booger I talked about on all my interviews that comes up and looks at me with a surprise. You can sneak up on, but most time they have to be kind of interested in something else, probably.
Right.
And like maybe they're scoping out a deer or hearing something in the woods, and y'all just happen to meet around the corner. That does happen, but like Chris said, for the most part, that's in their neighborhood and that's their living room, and you ain't gonna sneak up on them.
So many encounters I've listened to through podcasts and other people's encounters, vlogs and stuff like that. They come across and like they're startled so many times. Like I agree with you, they're fixated on either a hunt or interested in something going on around them. And so many of the stories go that find out and notice that you've spotted them, and they just go crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
They don't just go strolling through the woods like, hey, I'm going to go for a Sunday walk. If they're out there doing something, they're like we would be doing. They're looking for something to eat or
exactly. They want to be hidden. If an animal wants to stay hidden, it will not be seen. So many of them get startled, and they go into a rage.
Let's feed back into it. I can hear it. Hear it. Sorry about that. One of the phones was playing the live on Facebook, and it was feeding.
I'm sorry.
Feeding back in.
And just to throw this out before we go any further with anything else, me and Chris, I'm like the son he always wanted that he never got, but he has now.
The one I try to get rid of.
It's if we ever start bickering on live or anything, you guys don't take it serious. We do this daily through text and.
He was your boss for a long time, right?
In person, yes.
I tried leaving him at the fire station, but he keeps showing back up.
He's taught me a lot about.
And now you have your own business.
Yes.
It's like my daddy told me that I was adopted, but I kept coming back.
A lot of things to Chris here. He's been a very good mentor on our line of work that I do. That I learned a lot from him, and especially in the Squatch world and everything. So it's just good friendship and bickering. So y'all don't ever take it serious or think we're going to come to blows behind the scenes or anything.
Y'all just don't know how much fun it is being with them guys off camera. I told them before, I laugh at those two. It's like Abbott and Costello or something. It's just you got your straight man and your funny guy. And Chris is so good at just not saying nothing, but you can see that look like he's like, okay, that's funny. Yeah, but all right. I love it.
You should go camping with him.
And he tries to be a little clam, but apparently I'm the only one that can get him out of that shell.
No, I know. I'm just listening.
Hey, that's all right.
Hey, Dale, do you see that message there from John Burton? You see that?
I can't read any message.
It says his cousin Johnny, what does that say?
Johnny Horton.
Horton had an early version of Slewfoot.
Oh, that's right. He did. Sure did. Johnny Horton. Yeah. You remember Johnny Horton? He did a whole lot of great songs.
He did what's the other song he did? The Battle of
Gettysburg.
No, like New Orleans or something. What is that song?
Wait a minute. I said the Battle of New Orleans. That's what it was.
It is.
Shoot, give me a line of it, and I could probably sing it for you.
What is that?
We don't know. Maybe somebody in the chat knows.
Yeah.
Do you have any property in Oklahoma where you're at, or anywhere if we decide to plan a trip at some point to come to Oklahoma, we'd have somewhere to
Dale was fixing to sing.
Dale was trying to figure out the lines.
Here we go.
Oh no, go ahead. No, I'll do that later. Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Dale.
Oh no. My short-term memory is getting longer anyway. But hey, John, give me a holler. Look me up on Facebook. I love me some country music. I'd love to chat with you sometime.
Do you know John, Dale?
No, I don't. But if he's cousin of Johnny Horton, I'd like to talk to him.
Yeah, I think that he's up in that area in Alabama as well, I believe.
Oh,
I think that's him. Wow. I don't know. So many people send messages and emails and stuff. I know I've talked to someone.
Oh wait! I got it. Listen, in 1840, we took a little trip along Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we fought the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. We fired our guns and the British kept a-coming. There wasn't nigh as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to run from down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Something like that. But yeah, that's Johnny Horton.
That's it. And yeah, I just looked. So yeah, I actually talked to John the other day.
Cool.
That's awesome, Gary. That would be, if you would like and wouldn't mind having us in the future, that would be great to plan a trip up there.
Looks like Gary has 10 acres and a trailer hookup.
Is Oklahoma as backwoods as Alabama is?
Yeah, it looks like John's close to Alex City. And I talked to him the other night, so hopefully we'll be able to come up there and meet him at some point up there around Holland.
Yeah, Alex City is very near Sylacauga and Holland's Park there. I mean, that's all right there together. So, yeah, we're going to hook up soon.
Yeah.
Do you know Wendell 911?
One?
Dale, do you know Wendell 911?
Oh, absolutely. Wendell's a great guy, a good friend. I've been with him many
Around Hollins
times.
as well.
Matter of fact, this sticker right here on my guitar is from Wendell. It says Wendell 911 on it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
And he's such a good friend. I said, I don't put many stickers on my guitar, but I got a Bigfoot one down there, and I said, I'm gonna put that on there for my dedication to my brother.
Is Bigfoot holding the guitar?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Looks like a Gibson. That's what we're going to go with.
Awesome. Well, do you have another song that you wanted to?
Oh, if you like, sure. And I do apologize. I don't practice and rehearse like I should. I retired from doing it all the time professionally a few years ago. And my guitar strings have lost their pizzazz. I should change them. Let me do this old country song that even y'all remember. I fell into an burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Love is a burning thing. It makes a fiery ring. I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher. And it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire. I faded out like
No wrong with the Man in Black.
Oh yeah.
Great job, Dale.
And just so everybody knows, that face that Chris has on, it's his normal face, is actually in a very good
Yeah.
mood. That's his happy face.
Just the only face I got.
Hey, Dale, Gary said that whenever he gets not his, he expects one of those on that guitar. So I'm assuming he's talking stickers.
What's he want now? Say it again.
When Gary gets his stickers, he wants one on that guitar.
Oh, guaranteed.
Absolutely. Hey, a while ago, you talked about the shadows that come up to you. The video that you have where the shadow figure come up right beside you.
Yeah, and that actual shows the juvenile Bigfoot also.
Right.
That you'll see in the lower what's the right hand corner of the screen as you're looking at it. But it's very fast. It comes in, and this is the actual motion because he was only like 7 frames. A second got like 30 frames. This thing come in the scene about just for 7 seconds as far as the little fella. And if you'll watch, you'll see it almost looks like a ghost. Matter of fact, when I first saw it, I thought I told Robin, I said, "Look, I recorded a ghost monkey." You see the big ears, little nose, and it comes in real fast, and you see the surprise look on his face, and it goes, and I could. The whole story is a little long, and we can get to that in another show. But also in this video, and I never realized it for actually a couple of years. I got a background in graphics design and illustration, so I've been around computer software a little bit, and I can kind of get in there and play with the brightness, contrast, and the filters, things like that.
Right, try to clean.
So one day I was looking at the same one you're talking about, the little figure there, and when I filmed it, it was actually in my backyard, here in feet, not 40 feet from my back door. But I was looking at the little ghost monkey, and so I decided just to turn up the brightness 100%, and it freaked me out. And I swear for God, this is whatever's in there is real, and it was there. But it looks like a gorilla. You can see the outline of a gorilla, like a gorilla. So you see the head, you see his shoulder, you see the biceps, you see where it's got its elbow bent. Okay. And it's beside me, and it floats away. And it was within arm's distance from me, and you can see it. There's a tree in front of me. And,
let's take a look at it. You can still talk while it's playing. I don't think it has audio.
Okay.
Let me add it on here real quick.
I'm not used to having it on my podcast. But this is actually the audio from Wild Man Bottom.
Oh yeah. Hold on, let me grab the right one.
Dale, real quick, while he brings that up, you said you noticed the ears on the shadow.
Well, no, that's on the actual juvenile booger face. The shadow, I don't see nothing but shadow. But you're seeing now, watching the lower corner, you see the little white booger come up. Now I increase the brightness. What? See that shadow go up between me and the tree there? You can see it rise up and goes away.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'll start it over.
Okay.
Trying to get the right thing up here. We're new to there we go. All right.
Okay, you can put that full screen if you like. That way they can see it better. As long as I can talk about it.
All right, yeah. Let me start
Yeah,
it
but
over.
yeah, okay. And this is just a little breakdown I did. I didn't have no audio to it, but you can see how dark it was behind my house. Now I increased the brightness just a little bit, and again, you can see a tree in between me and whatever this raises up and blocks the tree off.
Yep, right there. Yep.
And you can see the shoulder and elbow. Now watch in the lower corner, you see a little white ghost little thing. See it there?
Yep.
Real fast. There it is. Now it's brightened up. You can see it there. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. See them eyes and that face and the brow ridge. But I wish I had my camera just a little bit lower. I would have caught his whole face. But you can see that's him. It looks like a flashlight.
It
But
does.
that is him coming through the woods there. And you say, do they cloak? I don't know what they cloak, but I think they absorb light or darkness. And it looks like a fog going through the trees. Now that's from what you just saw, I took several screenshots and I played with them with the different filters and stuff and was able to bring out a lot of detail. Now the ones on the left side of the screen, I guess, are basically the originals, which have been enhanced a little bit. Then I went a little bit further and was able to bring out more detail, and that's the face of a juvenile Bigfoot. I mean, I'll swear to it in a court of law, you know. Well, I'm not going to say it's a Bigfoot because we don't know, but that was in my camera, whatever that ghost monkey looking thing is.
You can definitely see even the images on the left side. You can see the deep black eye sockets being recessed, and you can see brows and a very good distinctive nose with the enhanced images.
And barely caught his mouth, and see how wide his mouth is.
Yes, that is.
But what was weird was it looked like his ears are almost connected to his brow ridge.
That's one thing I was asking you a second ago. I was listening to a podcast earlier today, and a guy had a really good description of one that was in his window back in the late 80s. They, according to him, they probably spent about 30 seconds to a minute just staring back at each other, and he had a very good description of the face and things like that. And he said that the ears were not like ours, that they were, they don't poke out on the sides. The hair did have them covered.
Right.
But
that was just juvenile, and it probably wasn't no larger than I was, and it wasn't about 6 feet from me. And so it was probably about 5 feet tall, maybe. So I guess it was a juvenile, or just a midget.
To the ear thing, he was saying that what he noticed, even with the long hair on the head, the ears looked closer to the front. Like you're saying with these, you can see them connected to the brow. But he said the ears were almost inset, like into the skull. That they didn't have, the lip that we do on our ears coming out.
Yeah.
They were more.
I've never heard anybody say. That's why I don't mention that very often, because it looks so weird. But
Right.
I was
That
just
was my
hoping
first
somebody
thought.
would tell me one day that's what I saw. It looked like that. So
Yeah, that was my thought, seeing the pictures and listening to that podcast today. And now that you put them pictures up, it made me think about that.
wow, that's awesome.
I keep hearing some of Chris's chickens come into our live feed. We're actually sitting on the back porch, so if you hear some roosters crowing, that's what it is.
Speaking of, wow, we bring up Chris's chickens. He does sell eggs locally. He also makes
No, don't do that.
He also makes pepper
Turn it
jelly.
into an infomercial.
He also makes pepper jellies. He asked me to do this while
No,
he's
I
trying.
didn't.
Yes, he did, while he's trying to talk about me.
Oh.
He makes
Oh,
pepper
speaking of
jelly.
that, Jesse, I wanted to tell you, man, that those Cajun peanuts that you gave me at my birthday party, oh Lord, they were good, but they are burning me up. But they are
That's my
good,
buddy
bro.
Matthew Cato, the peanut plug. He's also local to us and sells peanuts for a living. But makes pepper jelly
I love it.
in his backyard. Makes everything himself.
Oh wow.
He has mild, hot, extra hot, and what he's got on the jar is
Yeah.
triple X. It's super hot.
Oh, I'll be a regular customer, especially my wife Robin. She loves boiled peanut. I mean, we can't go out of town and pass a boiled peanut stand.
Yeah,
So
you
I know where to hook her up at now.
You can't beat a good cup of boiled peanuts.
Oh,
That's a southern delicacy for sure.
yeah.
Talk about his tallow.
He
No,
would
I
not,
saw
he
him.
would
I told him
not
to put it
also, ladies, if y'all
No.
tuning in, Chris also makes lotion. I bought this jar for my wife, actually.
You didn't say that was for your wife. You said it was for you.
I did not. Don't you even sit here on live.
You said it was for them little crow's feet. That
No,
are dark out
Jason's
there.
been using it, and Chris
Jason,
apparently.
Yeah, I look good for 50, right?
Apparently, Chris puts this on his face and hands every night, and his
Look, we're
hands are
supposed to
very
be talking to
supple.
Dale about Bigfoot.
Hey,
Not
Hey,
the
Jason
infomercial.
brought up your chicken, so I thought
I'll take about a half a dozen of those.
if anybody wants
They
to
take
reach
the
out,
wrinkles away.
Chris does have pepper jelly, different flavors, different levels of hotness, and he makes lotion for the ladies out there.
All right,
Lotion. Oh, that's pretty cool. I guess
all right, let's move on.
that's manly.
Let's move on, moderator.
All right. So let's talk about seasonal sightings real quick. Do you think that sightings increase during a certain period of time in the year, like spring, fall, winter? Do you think that there's more sightings during one season of the year?
My opinion, not so much. It's not. I don't believe it's like a hunting season. Like ducks come in, it's more south in certain times of the season, and migrate, and deer hunting and stuff's better in the winter.
Quit tapping the table.
Yeah,
I'm
so I was
sorry,
telling
guys.
him he's-
Don't you even say anything over there. I believe it's not technically a specific season that you go out and can spot one of these things or get any activity. And we like more so the wintertime because it gets
easier
dark
on
quicker.
us.
It's easier. We get out there and camp and have fires and things like that. To us, it's more fun. But all seasons of the year, of course, you have different foliage throughout the year. It's thicker in the summer and the spring. Fall and winter, things are dying off. You see more in the woods.
Yeah.
Different times, though, I would say you see different things.
It just depends because I think
yeah.
that they travel like in clans and whatnot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think they move.
Of course, they go where the food's at. They can't hang around and wait for the apples to grow back. They're going to go somewhere else. Get something
Absolutely.
else. So, and I don't think you would call it I don't know. I don't think that's called migration. But
I think they
like,
just move area to
sometimes
area.
it's active around my house, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah. I think if it was migration, it would be a little easier to
track them.
track them to do research because you would know that they go north during this time of the year or south or whatnot. So I think that they just move around.
That's
And
good.
some people, some people we've talked to said that they're on their property year round. So,
Yeah, speaking of that, our friend Flat Rock, it says like the fall and especially wintertime and early spring, he still gets a lot more activity than throughout the rest of the year. So we definitely believe that they do move around chasing food and certain, berries and stuff that grow certain times of the year, stuff like that. So any season is a good season, in my opinion. It's just,
Basically like a bear would do, I guess. If you want to compare it to something.
just always say use your due diligence in the woods in different seasons. With the hotter seasons, you have snakes that are more active, spiders, things like that. So again, be on your P's and Q's and take the right things out with you and look around. And another thing I've been told by many other researchers, and what we try to do is record everything, not just audio, get visuals, record everything, go back and watch over your audio, listen over your audio, look over your videos, try to dissect everything, because the naked eye always don't see everything the first time.
That's very important, Jesse, that you brought that up. I'm glad you did. And and just for instance, the video you just played, I recorded that in 2018. I didn't even see it till 3 years later. Because when I had recorded it out, I went out there. I had a flashlight and it was recorded on an actual video camera, a Sony Handycam. It wasn't cell phones, actual Handycam. And the same thing, I didn't see anything that y'all just saw. And I was doing the flash, so I uploaded it to my computer, just thinking there wasn't really anything there except the sound that I had heard. And we'll talk about that later. But 3 years later, I looked at it again, and that's when I saw, what you see now at my presentation. So definitely review your stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, not just once or twice. Just if you have the extra time, go over it whenever you can and dissect it. Go frame by frame. Go slow. Don't try to rush through anything, because you'll miss something. And we've been out and doing research, and we've caught a lot of things, not just from thermal, but our video that we don't see with our eyes, but we go back and watch the video.
Like the one Brian got.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to take a look at that in just a few minutes.
Yeah, orbs, lights, shadows like Dale got. I mean, you never know what you're going to come across once you start dissecting and, get fresh eyes back to something. You can miss things very easily.
Exactly. Fresh eyes is always a good thing. Yeah.
One thing Flat Rock said that stuck with me since he said it is, when you're out, look out. Always look out. Don't look down. Don't stay fixated on one spot. You want to broaden what you look at. And the woods will play tricks on you for sure. But, be vigilant and, look out, not just in one spot. Try to have a wide range of visual when you're out there.
Absolutely true, bro.
Gary said the clan that's around his property, on his property, goes south about 50 miles during deer season. That makes a lot of sense, them chasing after the deer when the deer are moving. And, easier prey would be fawns and, does in pregnancy. They're slowed down.
Or it could be the gunshots. That might not be going
like
after
a dinner
the deer.
bell.
They might be going away from the deer. But
there's been many encounters I've heard that, these things know what guns are and what they do. So they sit and watch and have seen men or women be out in the woods and kill other animals with these things, and they know the power that they have. So
Gary said they dodge the hunters.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. Even here, there's a guy that we talked to at our first town hall, I believe. He had a clan in his backyard that he would see often and all, but loggers come in and log the land. So of course the clan had to, they moved, and he said that he didn't see them anymore. So I was only like 5-10 miles up the road.
Yeah, it's less than 10.
So so they're around here somewhere. We haven't located them yet, but
they're definitely here. It's luck of the Irish type thing.
Yeah, we have a lot of encounters that have happened throughout the years.
I believe they want to be seen. They let you see them unless you have that opportunity to just spook one that's fixated on something else. I guess depending from what I've heard and everything, it depends on what you startle them on, how they react, or them letting them see you is usually more tame and an easygoing encounter.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, I think since we brought it up, we'll go ahead and show our thermal that we caught. I believe it was January 25th of 2025, right? It was this year, right? Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so several of us went on a camping trip down south, and I'll pull it up and we'll take a look at it. And Jesse, Chris, and myself will talk about it real quick. So on the right is the thermal. On the left is a cell phone that one of the guys just had, holding it at his chest. He wasn't looking at it or anything. He was just holding it at his chest, and you'll see Just a moment. I'm gonna pull up the full screen.
At the
Right
same
there.
time, right?
Yeah, this was at the
notice
same
there's a
time.
orange light right there on the left in the center now.
Yeah, and the cell phone is focusing on it, so that's why it's pulsating. But it was literally just occasionally you can kind of see two. So
And none of us seen this with our naked eye. This was after the fact, him checking the video from his phone, that he noticed all this. Most of us were fixated on the thermal image on the right. What we appears to us and what we've dissected from it to be a possible squatch hanging out behind a tree, checking out what we're doing. It was very quiet that night, very cold. It was like, what, 34?
Yeah,
34 degrees out that night. It was cold. But we actually spotted it, and you can tell the more you watch it, the thing actually looks like it's swaying, standing there in and out from behind this bush or tree there, and is fixated on what we're doing.
we watched it for like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
I think we have video of 3 minutes of this thing.
and we actually went back. Like that same night, we took thermal down and went back to look for it again, and it was gone. You can see the leaves and trees and everything highlighted, giving off their little bit of heat, and you can tell what are trees and what's not. And if that was to be a stump, it's a very bright stump for thermal footage.
And it was 34 degrees.
Yeah.
And a heavy tree canopy. So the sun wasn't getting through that area.
And it was probably, 10, 11 o'clock that night?
Yeah.
Around
late.
Around that time. No, I believe it's 9 o'clock. 9:06, 9:07.
Yeah. It's got a time stamp on it.
It's
I thought it was later than that.
I thought it was too.
I think someone's time might have been off on their camera, possibly. Because I believe it was later. I think it was more around 11.
But when we went back and checked over the thermal footage, still scanning with the thermal, that thing eventually had disappeared and it was no longer there. We never had any smells or sounds. It was very quiet out that night. We were pretty hyped about catching that.
Yeah, and also before this footage, and I actually didn't even add the other footage, but we actually did see with our own eyes like several other orbs, lights, ghost lights, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. There were a couple of them that were red. They just kind of streaked around just a little bit and they were gone. And then several white ones that were floating around. But they only lasted maybe 5 or 6 seconds.
And they come in out of nowhere and get really bright and then go right back out.
Yeah, we actually have footage of that too, but I didn't pull it up on here, so we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, that was a pretty cool experience for us.
Great catch. That's a great catch.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Wow.
yeah, so that's that. Let me pull this back up here.
I'd say that was a booger.
That's what we think. And also the same night, so we camped and it was pretty dang cold. My air mattress thing didn't blow up, so I literally slept on a 34-degree cold ass ground that night. But I got woke up probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning of something probably 15, 20 feet away from my tent, stomping like hell. And I was like, I know that man that's over there sleeping in this camper that was right up the road. I'm like, I know he ain't gonna come out here stomping around at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know what that was about. But then also one of the other guys said that he got woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something, hearing a lady scream. Well, there were no ladies on the property whatsoever. So don't know what that was about. And then I think Jesse had some weird things going on with him as well that night.
That's a story for another time because I'd actually have to go over it with myself to figure out how to put it where I don't ramble for 10 minutes trying to explain it. But a quick crash course, the best way to put it is a lot of people say they can like infrasound happens a lot with these encounters, and you kind of like go into a trancey state. And I really want to say with all my belief and in God that I was asleep and just dreaming all this, but I'm pretty sure that I was dreaming, but it's so surreal that I thought one was at the face of my tent, having his face pushed in through the mesh on the tent and was looking at me, and I was trying to get away from it, and I wound up on a queen size blow up mattress in my tent, was in the dead center of it, and somehow I wound up with the mattress pushed all the way over, and I was on the ground between the mattress and the opening of my tent when I woke up, and I was pretty freaked out and I guess in shock in a way. And I just slowly climbed back up on my mattress and covered up and went back to what I say was sleep. I don't think I slept much after that, but it's pretty wild experience. And it was the same night that actually we caught that thermal footage, and Jason had some sound stuff going on, and one of our other members, Brian, heard some things going on around his tent. So it's a strong possibility that we did have one in camp that night that was trying to, see what we had going on and was a little interested in what we were doing.
I mean, I can't imagine anything else that would have been stomping 15, 20 feet away from my tent. Because, I mean, it literally, like, sat there and thought, and I was like, surely that guy's not out here. And after talking to Flat Rock, that guy would not have been outside until
like 9 o'clock. We were all armed, so I doubt anybody's going to mess, just to come to play a joke.
Yeah,
we're
pretty much armed.
Whatever it was,
when we go out.
If you could stomp on the ground as hard as you possibly could about 5 or 6 times, that's what woke me up. I almost felt like I could feel it. That it was so.
I don't think a normal sized man could stomp the ground hard enough to make those sounds. That
and Chris, you didn't really have anything else that night, did you?
I was dying in my tent.
Yeah, he was dying in his tent, literally, because he had a little propane buddy heater.
Yeah, it sucked all the oxygen out.
It did not trigger to turn off once the oxygen ran out in the tent.
Well,
so
it burned a hole in my blow-up mattress. When I was able to actually finally wake up, a blow-up mattress had a hole burn in it. It was flat.
There's always something going on with us when we go out.
Oh, Gary talked about that, him with infrasound, and he passed out. I actually believe that they talked about that last night on Jessica's show, and I've sent that episode to the guys, so that way that they can check it out, because that was some good stuff that you guys were talking about.
I've heard that in many podcasts, encounters I've listened to, that the infrasound hits you and you can feel it, and it freezes people up.
Well, you had,
and I was about to bring up the same property, the camp we did a few months before that down there. It was the middle of the day, had to be between 1 and 3 p.m. And everybody was at camp. I think we had just had lunch. We were hanging out, and some of us were just straggled around. And I actually took off down the main trail, and I probably wasn't 30, 40 yards from camp and going into this bend on the main trail. And I could still see camp and everybody. And I went to go around this bend, and it's hard to explain, but my left foot, I'll never forget, it was actually in the air. And I know what most animals in Alabama that I've hunted and been out in the woods sound like. And the best way to put this is seriously like somebody says they go to the zoo and hear a lion roar, and you can feel it hit you in your chest. And this roar, grunt, whatever it was something I've never heard in my life. And the velocity that it hit me with, my left foot never hit the dirt. And I about faced and turned around and just about started to sprint back to camp, and was like, no. I turned around. It shook me, and I'll never forget that. So
Wow.
if it was a hog, it was a big hog. And if a hog's that close, they're probably going to charge. And I never seen anything visually, but I heard it and I felt it, like it reached out and touched me. And this trail opening is you probably have 6 to 7 feet between the tree lines when you're walking down this thing. You're actually getting hit by limbs and brush. So it felt like whatever it was just about right next to me. But it was definitely close enough. I felt it in me when it hit me, and I ain't gonna lie, it scared me. It shook me.
Wow. That sounds intense. Man.
It enticed me that much more to want to be out in the woods and dive deeper into research and being more into this. And I'm strong in my belief about saying that I want to have a sighting and see one of these things up close, or, visually see it with my own eyes. But after that, I still feel that way extensively, because I don't know how I would react seeing something that has to be that size to make that kind of sound. You know, I'm not a small guy, but I'm not a huge guy. I'm 6'1", 220. So it shook me, but it enticed me at the same time to want to dive deeper. So again, always please be careful when you're out in the woods, no matter the season, the time, the day. Always be ready for anything.
Yeah, because I mean, not all of these things are nice, and sweet. There's been lots and lots of stories where there's very angry ones. So
Yes.
Was that the same weekend that a bunch of you guys went down there and y'all went through the woods at night with radios and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, because y'all had like several little things going whenever y'all were out and about that night.
Yeah, there's a guy, actually, it's no longer part of the group, but he's still friends with a few of us. I'm not going to say his name, but me and him paired up that night and was out across a culvert on this land. And we were set back in the woods in chairs, you know, just being normal, not being very loud, just out there listening. And we heard something that lasted probably about 15 to 20 seconds that just come out of nowhere and was just crashing through the woods. And it was probably 30, 40 yards from us, at the bottom of this hill we were set on, right above the culvert. And it sounded, we looked that night and went back first thing the next morning and tried to find the tree that this thing knocked over. And we couldn't find one. And that's exactly what it sounded like. As fast as it happened, it went away. We heard no footsteps, no brush moving, but it sounded like a daggone tornado came through there in front of us, just throwing a tantrum, and went away that quick. And we had no trace of finding anything that made that noise. So that's pretty crazy, being out in the woods that late and hearing something like that come out of nowhere. Never heard nothing come up. Didn't hear it go away. But something definitely came through there and made some racket. So something knew we were there and apparently didn't like it. But not long after that, we regrouped back at camp.
Wow, that was intense.
Looks like we got Flat Rock with us. He says, "See you this weekend." Yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you. I think we're looking to come down Friday.
Yeah, I'll be down there Saturday, Flat Rock.
So we got John. He said his encounter is given on Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization, North Carolina cabin. He thanks us for the information. Yeah, we'll have to check that one out. I know I've watched some of the Rocky Mountain stuff. The podcast, it gives all the different stories and whatnot. David Leonard, welcome.
Yeah. Really, David Leonard. Hey, David. David's a dear friend of mine back when I was in high school. Yeah.
Flat Rock.
We've had a few people pop on and just say hey to us. Yeah. So we can say hey to all y'all out there. Thank y'all for tuning in. And sorry, we're trying to do things a little different this week. We're not solely, concentrating on just comments. So hey to all you guys.
Dale, I know that you said you can't really see the comments, but Flat Rock said the one and only from Boogerville.
Yeah, I love Flat Rock, and I had the honor of Flat Rock spending a weekend here at my house and out by the campfire one time. We had
that was when we had
it was an honor. It definitely was. I've always been a big fan of Flat Rock. Let me tell you, Flat, these guys will probably have to get back to work on Monday, and being as I'm retired and you're retired, I may stay an extra day. So save up a few more groceries.
Yeah, we plan on we don't know what we're doing yet. We're going to definitely have us a decent meal while we're down there.
Oh,
we might grill something outside or something.
I might as well wait till Saturday when I come down there and let me cook, because somehow every time we go camping, I'm the one that winds up doing all the grilling. So
yeah,
no.
Chris cooked my steak.
That's because we didn't want Jesse to mess it up.
But Jesse did bring the seasoning. All you brought was butter. So
hey, it worked.
Jesse brought the spice.
Everybody make sure when we have steaks that I cook the steaks. I've always had my steaks ramped on. So Chris, butt out. And you just bring your butter and chicken eggs. And don't forget your lotion.
I mean, I'm fine with you cooking. I'm sure you're going to need some lotion while you're there.
Yeah, Flat Rock, we've been talking about last January ever since we were there. And so we're certainly glad we're coming back this weekend. Should be a fun weekend.
Yeah, at least it won't
always
be
a great
super
time.
cold. We've been when it's 34 degrees. We've been in when it snowed.
Y'all quit banging and rattling papers.
Yeah, experiencing the snow down there with Flat Rock and all was awesome. And we actually ventured out a pretty good ways from the property that weekend and found some interesting.
Y'all talked about taking a kayak down there to go down that creek.
Me and Chris have talked about that. You know, we talked about that with Stacy Brown.
That still needs to happen.
Yeah,
There's still time.
Stacy's done a pretty good bit of research about the surrounding areas and Flat Rock's property, and he believes, and from what I've seen and read that Stacy has sent me, there's a strong possibility of cave systems around and down along this creek that turns into a river down there, and that's going to be a
You gonna take your big ass down there and crawl up in the cave?
I don't know about getting in the cave, but definitely check them out. But that's going to be a summertime or springtime event where we go down there and hike and camp around the creek and river and check out some of these hills and hollers down around that way and check into some of these cave systems that Stacy has the idea of that were there. And I'm pretty sure from what I've seen that he's researched on is pretty good possibility, about 95% sure there's some cave systems down there. So none of us, to my knowledge, have ever been cave dwellers or actually gotten into cave diving. So don't think that we'll be going too far into them, but definitely checking them out, doing some research around those and checking out that possibility. So
Awesome. So, Dale, you mind if I go ahead and play your audio real quick of the house?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, let me add this real quick.
Is this the one that Thinker Thunker just analyzed?
It is. It sounded like it was playing your audio, but it was playing my video. Let me remove mine
Okay.
and add this one.
Yeah, before you play,
Do what?
before you play it, I want to make sure that people know that excuse me, that initial here, how you hear there is Jim, my son-in-law.
Okay, so it wasn't you.
I
Okay.
think it was me, but no, I can't hit them high notes anymore. I used to, but no, I can't hear them anymore. But that was actually Jim that did that howl that got him started. And whatever notes he hit was amazing. I mean, even Thinker Thunker talking about operatic, whatever notes he hit caught their attention, But that's my son-in-law Jim that does that initial howl. And we need to take him on this expedition one night and let him spit it out and see what we can stir up.
Yeah, David asked if you're taking requests. So yes, Dale is taking requests.
Yeah.
He'll sing us another song in a few minutes. But let's go ahead and play this audio real quick. So that's your son-in-law.
What you hear is a washer. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty intense. And I was telling y'all about having your truck pointed to the out position.
Put it on
That
there.
was one of the few times that we were in the truck and we got the heck out of there because it got crazy. You think that sounds crazy? You should have heard it in person. I mean, it was scary. But we thought something was coming after us, but that was very intense.
It was, especially that stuff there at the end. That was like very crazy. I watched the Thinker Thunker video, Thunkers. I think it has an S on the end of it. But it was crazy how he compared the different like bobcats and panthers and different things of what their vocal cords on the spectro analyzer look like versus a potential unknown species, which
Yeah, you know,
we believe is
if there's an
Sasquatch.
expert as far as analyzing stuff like that, Thinker Thunker would be the guy. I mean, I was excited when we analyzed that. It was like winning a Grammy. You know, like all right, Thinker Thunker. You know, if he looks at your stuff, it's something worth looking at or listening to. You know, so but yeah, he did a great job on it, and I thank him very much.
On the topic of vocals, I just recently got to go to Blue Ridge for the first time a few weeks ago, and me and my wife there for our anniversary. And while we were there, I had the great, wonderful opportunity of going to Expedition Bigfoot and checking out that museum up there. So if y'all are ever in the area or want to take a trip, definitely check that place out. It is amazing.
Absolutely.
Some of the things through history that have been documented and shared to that place. I got to be the owner. Very down to earth, very cool guy, very great staff. He's actually personal friends with Mr. Dale, and Dale has his homemade hand clappers on display there. I got to see, which was very cool to see that in there. But they have a few audio booths set up in there for different things from over the years that's been captured. The Sierra sounds are there. Ape Canyon audio is there with a pretty cool display, and I don't remember the name of this particular one in there. It's right by the exit door as you're coming out of the museum, but there's like 22 minutes worth of audio that's been collected from different people in different places, and they have the diaphragm as shown here of the sound waves, and there's no person that I know of or have ever heard or seen, even opera singers, that can get to this decibel level of vocals that have been recorded, and you can actually see as well as you listen to at the same time. And there's nothing that I know of, I doubt many people would know of, that can hold that decimal sound that long and to make these kinds of sounds. It's wild. So if you ever have a chance to go and check that out, definitely do it.
Yeah. That's actually my favorite road trip destination. I hadn't been there in a couple of years, but when we get in the notion to take a little road trip, that's where I like to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go back, even if it's just a day trip up there. It was pretty amazing. We spent a lot of time in there reading everything and taking our time on each thing. I got a lot of photos. And
oh yeah, you need at least a couple of days to go through everything there.
Yeah, you know. The audio that they have available is just amazing. So definitely check that out if you ever get the chance.
Absolutely. David Becerra, he's a great guy and one of the foremost researchers. If you ever sit and talk to him a little bit or hear one of his presentations, he's dead on it.
Oh yeah, I actually got to stand and talk to him for about 30 minutes, and he's a very knowledgeable, down to earth guy. And it was amazing being able to talk to him and meet him and get some insight from somebody that's been in it so long, and have the knowledge and the outlooks on stuff that he does. I agree with him on a lot of things. Most of everything he said, I agree with. There's a couple of things I kind of thought were a little far-fetched for my belief, but he's strong in his beliefs, so there's something there for sure. But in any case, in any one thought process, it's like anything else. It's how far down said rabbit hole that you want to go, what you believe in. But it was an eye-opener and a great experience to meet somebody like that with that kind of status and learn something from him in such a short time. It was a pretty great experience. So you should definitely treat yourself if you get the chance to go to Blue Ridge and check out Expedition Bigfoot.
Do you want me to put this picture up or something?
Just toward the end.
Okay.
I got me right now.
Cool. Well, anything else about your audio, Dale? Man.
No, that was pretty much what you heard is what was there. I actually went back out there for the first time, and since last time I went out there with you fellas, I went out there today just to ride down Wild Man Bottom Road, and it's still looking pretty squatchy out there. So I'm gonna sneak
It is.
out
I
one
watched
day
that.
and just go back out there and see what's going on.
It is. I watched that video and I tried to download it and get it onto the live tonight, but I wasn't able to get it done in
No.
time. So, all right. Well, y'all got anything else you want to talk about?
I think that's it.
All right.
Chris don't talk much.
Just listen.
He's ready,
I'm trying to keep you in check.
he's ready to go home and put that lotion on.
It didn't take him long to say that's it though, did it?
Yeah,
The
right.
lotion goes on the skin.
I told him it'll get easier with time. Talking on video. I do it at work all the time. I'm not an expert at it either, but you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised we're all feeling so homey in it with this, because I don't do well with speaking in front of people either. I guess it's a little easier having friends next to you and being on camera. You're not directly in front of anyone in person, so.
Right, and we get to meet some of these cool cats in the chat. So yeah.
As last time, if anybody has any topics or ideas they want to throw out and hear us talk
Oh,
about.
well, let me sing one more song if we got time for David, since he requested something.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Now, if anybody has any topics or ideas or questions or would like to be a guest on the show to tune in and talk with us on live, reach out to us. Let us know. We always enjoy the feedback, good and bad.
Absolutely.
Absolutely there. But yeah, David was a good friend of mine, and when I was in high school, I used to go over his house and take my guitar and play and sing, and he encouraged me, and he sang real good harmony back then.
So is David from here?
Yeah, he lives here in Phoenix City.
Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, nice to meet you, David. Hopefully we can meet you in person. We may have already done that. I don't know. If not, we'll definitely.
Yeah, it's hard to remember everybody we come across.
David, I think, was at our conferences. One of them.
Okay.
But I do just a verse in the course of a. I know David likes Merle Haggard, and Merle Haggard was my idol, my mentor, and the reason I picked up a guitar when I was 12 years old. So I'll just do a little piece of that.
Sounds good.
Okay. Twinkle, twinkle, lucky star, can you send me love from where you are? Can you make a rainbow shine that far? Twinkle, twinkle, lucky star, can you really make a wish come true? Do you shine on a chosen few? Is it over? Has it gone too far? Twinkle, twinkle, lucky star, like two ships on the ocean, we drifted apart. You found an island at sea. I'm still adrift with this pain in my heart. Won't you send your sweet love back to me? Hey, twinkle, twinkle, lucky star, can you send me love from where you are? Can you make a rainbow shine that far? Twinkle, twinkle, lucky star.
Good job.
Dale, I wish you could say you almost put me to sleep with that, but you had my attention.
I had to throw a little ballad in there.
Yeah, I love that kind of music. Sounds like the good old days.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's all I know is from the good old days.
It was before my time, but I grew up on it.
Me and Chris grew up on it at my dad's house. He was in a band for, I don't know, 15, 20 years at the VFW club.
Oh,
So it was awesome. David, I see that you said that you've been following us from the beginning. I bet you were probably one of our few people in the beginning that was on our live feed when we were driving through Ghost Town. That's how we started out with the social media stuff. We would go up in Ghost Town and do a live stream to see if we could catch something or whatnot. But
Also on
certainly
that, we
appreciate everybody
appreciate the love from the beginning, absolutely, and support. We
Yep.
Appreciate that very much.
David said he was.
This is how it starts out, and y'all are just here working the bugs out with us. So we greatly appreciate it. And
Yeah,
as
we
always,
have fun with all this, and we just wanted to kind of expand it and make it a little more personal by doing these live feeds, just so that we can, kind of get to know some of you guys in the chat and potentially find some other places to go boogering and squatching. So
at the end of the day, if nothing else, it's a very good excuse to get out in the woods.
It is.
True.
David said he met MK at the meeting.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was our first town hall.
Yeah,
that was very cool being able to meet MK Davis.
Yeah, there were several people that drove long distances just to meet MK.
Mm-hmm.
So we were certainly appreciative of them driving that far, and
Absolutely.
now everybody drives long distances to be sure that they're able to catch a sight of Dale and some of his music and camaraderie.
Well, I don't do, as you can tell, I'm off key and out of rehearsal, but I still enjoy
That's the
doing
thing
it.
about country music. You don't have to sing it in key.
Yeah, I'm
Just
just having
drinking up a
fun.
beer and it'll be all right.
There you go.
We appreciate you, Dale.
Yeah, very much so. More than you know, sir.
Oh, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
It's a blessing to be able to share all this with you and
I
be able
wonder
to
what
call-
that
be able
is.
to call you friend.
There's your picture.
Oh, right here, what we got. This is at my house. I actually got the template from Chris here. It's a 3/4 plywood cutout.
Now, this sounds like an infomercial.
It does. He's been running infomercials.
Well, I'm
half
just
the time.
throwing out there what it's made out of. I'm not trying to sell you guys anything, but we do have merch. We have shirts. We have hats. We can do coffee mugs, anything like that. The tumbler cups, anything like that. We can make just about anything. Chris handles most of that stuff, but
We have shirts.
I know we sell most of this stuff at our town halls and everything at our little booths, but if anybody can't make it or don't want to wait and wants to get some merchandise, reach out to us and we can get you taken care of.
Yeah, we're certainly not going to try to push any merchandise on you guys. We haven't in the past as far as for our town halls, but we're not really set up to sell a bunch of stuff, but we can certainly get that way if you guys are interested.
Yeah, it's just a thought process. We're all working class, blue collar guys, and we pay for a lot of this stuff out of pocket. So, we're just trying to help us buy equipment and, be able to pay speakers to come in, and venues and things like that. It's not like it's going to go directly into our pockets to have. So just a thought out there if anybody's interested in anything like that, just reach out to us.
Yep. And remember, we're still looking for a venue for the town hall that should come up somewhere around March. We got to get a venue before we can set a date.
Yes. Any ideas?
If y'all have a farm with a barn,
That would be. I would like that.
Yeah,
I think
that
a
would be
farm
great,
somewhere would be
really.
awesome.
If anybody has the property and don't mind about 300 people being there, again, we'll clean up before and after and take care of everything like that. It would be greatly appreciated.
yeah, our first one's at the Ruritan, and the Ruritan technically is only supposed to have
75, I think.
75 people, and we broke over 100 at some point during the first one. And then the second one we had, it could hold more people, but we had 180.
It was still packed.
80 something. There was standing room.
187.
So we're hoping that next year it'll grow a little bit bigger, and so therefore we need something a little bigger.
Yeah, we're hopefully expecting anywhere between 200, 250 people. Hopefully, the way that the second one grown from the first one. So, any thoughts or ideas would be greatly appreciated if anybody wants to reach out for something like that.
Absolutely. All right, y'all have anything else? Dale, you have anything?
Oh no, I'm good. I just want to thank y'all so much for putting this on and putting it together, and thank Jason for all the work he did. And it's really, you're doing a great job, brother. It's very professional looking. And I'm very satisfied with just what you've got so far. And I know we're going to get better as we go, but God, I love it. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in, Flat Rock, David, and all our friends, and Gary, and everyone.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you, Dale. I know that you get on a lot of podcasts, but since we have adopted you as our Squatch Seekers of the South legendary researcher. You're ours. So
That's
we
right.
appreciate you jumping on with us.
You're
Anytime.
not copyrighted yet, but we are working on it.
All right. Well, we certainly appreciate everyone jumping on with us. Remember, we're going to try to do these every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, absolutely. And we'll try to make sure that we put that out there on our messages and stuff that we put out. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our posts, comment on our posts. You know, Facebook has an algorithm. So if we're not liking and commenting, you know, sometimes it may not show you some of the stuff that some of us put out there. So we appreciate it if y'all do that, and I hope everyone has a good night.
Yeah, y'all have a good week. Everybody stay safe. If you get out in the woods, be on your P's and Q's, and everybody stay squatchy.
All right, Dale. Have a good week, and we'll see you Friday.
See you, Dale.
See you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. And good night, y'all.
See Flat Rock Friday.
Yep. Y'all have a good night.
The Squatch seekers of the South, searching for truth, debunking the doubt. The answers are there if the questions don't count. The Squatch seeking seekers of the South. East Central Alabama, near the Georgia line. The mighty Chattahoochee running deep and wide. There's talk of hairy creatures running about, and a group of Squatch seekers steady stalking the South.